what I tried to do mostly was I tried to be like real political about one thing, about the things in my crew. I was always open to hear suggestions and all that. Some of them think I wasn't. It was just one particular topic that I was just when it's like when you feel something is toxic to you, whether it may not be toxic to anybody else, but it was to me, and it was spilling out into the group, you got to go. There ain't no vote about it. There's no, that was the only time I ever said, yo, nah, there ain't going to be no vote. There ain't going to be, I'm putting my foot down. That's that. So that's why a lot of them left, because they felt like, oh, if Waz get mad at you next week, you'll be next. No, nah. Because what happened, this person's energy was different from everyone else's energy. So that's what that was about. Without getting into any names and all, I don't, I'm not gonna point names and all that shit. I'm not doing that shit. So
we definitely could sympathize with you on that, because we had a few brothers that came and it's the same thing when you have an organization. I'm quite sure every organization has rules, right? So let's just say if we look at this as beyond a brotherhood, when you hit business, there's certain things that's going to keep your business flourishing, and certain things that's going to destroy your business. So a lot of times, if you see and you recognize a person that entered your business is doing more harm than good, you have to address that. Now the one thing we haven't done is castrate, the person publicly and denounce them, in front of amongst their peers, and to belittle them. But at the same time, sometimes you have to speak to these individuals sternly, because this is our business. This is something that we plan on leaving to our children and children's children. This is our legacy we talking about. This ain't just that average polo shirt you went to go get. This is a full effect business. And a lot of times individuals come in under the assumption of we're gonna push the polo push the polo needle, and that by far that's definitely not what we're about. So my question to you, with the low ranges still being in full effect, what are some things that the low ranges are doing to help push the culture forward?
Yeah, on the radar or off the radar?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on the radar, I can actually tell you, this year will be our 10th year, and I'm in the midst of planning a big bash. We're gonna have a big bash on that one. Off the radar, just like I told Boo this morning, I took toys over to the hospital in our name for the kids that were in the hospital for Christmas. We did that. And like I said, I'm not gonna. I told Boo earlier. I said, there's stuff that I do that I don't look for a pat on the back. I don't want none of those attaboy. I don't want none of that. Like whatever I do something, I do it anonymously, because I feel that's the way I feel. Like I'm not gonna hand a PlayStation 5 to a little kid who has cancer just so I could take a picture with him and said I did this. That shit is tacky to me. I'm gonna give under the radar. I don't need pictures. I don't need, oh, yo, he did that. He did this. Oh, yo, that was all right, Father. I don't need that.
Now, this is a topic that really touched home for me, because I'm gonna tell you, right? Without the accolades or the acknowledgement, you're not setting the tone for the future. Like for example, if we had not had I not seen ROPC, and I always shout these guys out, man. Had I not seen them, giving back in the magnitude they was giving back and so on and so forth, how they was
I
hands
told him
on,
that earlier.
I would have never. But I mean, I still would have did my thing here and there. But in
Right?
order to create your legacy, it needs to be documented. Now, there's certain places, like if you go give to the women's shelter, that you can't film and really take pictures, that's understandable. But the things that you can do is you can get letters of recommendation from those places and add that to your portfolio. So now when you sit down and you go talk to other corporations and other things, y'all do collabs on events, you have your portfolio and it shows, well, hey, they gave to St. Jude's Hospital, they gave to John Hopkins Medical, the cancer unit, so on and so forth. Not to say that you're putting those children on blast, but the world, the news, they depicted us as thugs, gangsters,
That's
no
right.
heart, ruthless. In order to erase that stigma, you gotta do as much
The
positive as you doing negative.
last image in their eyes and their mind is when they saw you on the street doing your 1-2. You
Yeah,
don't want to leave that. Because the first thing they say, low lives, is what? Oh, these motherfuckers ran up in there, robbing niggas, doing this, doing that, right? But if we out there in the community showing a change, a transition, then they like, oh, we could sit down with these brothers and build with them. They're not animals. So it's different levels that you can, enlighten, because you
yeah.
might inspire somebody else to go to that same hospital and give out gifts and stuff like that. So it's a lot of ways that people, but we respect your way. You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
give you another. I'm gonna give you a whole team, right? That by far sat back and watched the movement, right? Now, mind you, there's a lot of teams out here that was doing their thing, putting on fabulous polo displays,